Greetings, Quester, and welcome to Tiny Meeples' Big Talk with Matt and Richard.
Welcome to Tiny Meeples' Big Talk, and as usual we have a massive subject to talk about, one that will
pretty massive, isn't
it? It affects all of our lives.
One could say that it dwarfs all of our previous topics.
Yeah, definitely. So, we thought we would go a bit more with a kind of sci-fi theme again, but we didn't want to be talking about making a big list of things again.
Nope.
We wanted to talk about something a bit more real and something that does impact.
Keeping it real today, aren't we?
Yeah. I want to get back to the people. That's what it's important. That's what it's all about. So when you watch Star Wars, and,
A New Hope.
Yeah, A New Hope. Yeah, we're just talking about the original Star Wars. There comes a point where most of the characters meet up, and that happened in the cantina in Mos Eisley. Yeah. And when Ben Kenobi and Luke and the droids go there to find their way to go and help Leia,
looking for passage to Alderaan.
Yeah, which they
looking for Leia in Alderaan places. Yeah,
they still think it's there. It's tragic. The people they meet there are Han and Chewie, and they're kind of going to get passage on the Millennium Falcon. But the question that you put to me the other day was, what if instead of finding the Millennium Falcon there, they found Starbug?
Yep.
So, we are talking about Red Dwarf Star Wars today.
Yeah, because I did think that it would completely change the course of the film.
I imagine it would be quite different, yes.
I mean, for one thing, copyright would have been an issue.
It would have been, yeah. There's a difference in the timing of it, because I don't think there was any Red Dwarf at that point. But basically, those guys would be sitting there having a curry, wouldn't they?
Yeah. So you can kind of picture it, can't you? You know,
I can,
Obi-Wan and Luke wander in while Lister is there. Cat's trying to chat up some alien.
Yeah.
Rimmer's being obnoxious.
He's arguing with the staff.
Crichton's eyeing up all the dwarf, all the droids.
Yeah, the Hoover.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, nice.
You know, so it would have been a very different thing. I mean, you can imagine that Lister would have agreed to passage for payment.
Yeah,
or supplies.
I think they would have just wanted to help out, really, as well. They would have wanted some payment, but
I think as soon as Lister realised that there was a princess involved,
well, the cat would be straight there.
Yeah. Like, princess. His hair, you know?
Yeah. He's 48 hours to get ready.
He spent the entire time travelling to Alderaan, just combing his hair and.
Yeah, just trying on different outfits. And
yeah. And that would have been a big difference right there and then. I mean, you got. I was trying to think about what was sort of some of the key elements that involved the Falcon and Han and Chewie, and how that might have been a bit different. So you got the first meeting, and Greedo turns up. Now, if Greedo had been threatening Lister, it wouldn't have been about who shot first. It would have been how fast was Lister running to get away, really.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, they would have left a lot sooner, wouldn't they, from the Mos Eisley cantina.
Then jump forward to Jabba turning up to see Han before he leaves, and then the stormtroopers turn up shooting. And you just know that they'd have been trying to run away a lot faster.
Maybe that Jabba would have made Lister marry his daughter like that Gelf did. They'll just be able to save him. Yeah,
it would have been quite funny, wouldn't it, had that happened? But I also think, you know, there's an element where probably Lister would have been trying to help them get aboard, and Rimmer would have been trying to take off without everybody.
Yeah. Well, I think Rimmer would have tried to be impressive at first, because when he meets new people, it's like, I'm Arnold Rimmer, space adventurer. So there would have been a lot of big talk in the cantina.
Oh yeah.
And that would have dissolved very quickly when the stormtroopers turned up, or Jabba, or Greedo, anybody. So,
I think Luke would probably have had to tell Crichton to stay away from R2D2.
Yeah, and his lightsaber.
Yeah.
Everything. Who touched the lightsaber to the groinal attachment.
And
That's not how it works.
If 3PO gave Crichton a double Polaroid, then, there would have been serious issues.
Well, I kind of would imagine in this scenario, kind of having Crichton instead of 3PO in a way. I know we're talking about them meeting up at the cantina, but R2D2 and C3PO kind of lead them there in a way. And I was just thinking about the fact that there's only 2 people on the Falcon, and to me, Han and Chewie are Lister and the cat. And I was just kind of extrapolating this, so that would just make C3PO Crichton, basically.
I don't know, actually. Think about it and about the annoying characteristics. Surely if C3PO is anyone, it's going to be Rimmer.
Yeah, because that's what I thought at first. Because I thought, well, Rimmer's a real C3PO type character, but then I thought, well, you've also got Crichton. So yeah, I suppose Rimmer could be C3PO and Crichton
he's got
could
the
be
annoyance,
R2D2.
hasn't he? Although, you're different from the robotic android.
Whoever knows what R2D2's thinking? He could be thinking about Hoovers and toasters all the time.
So we say that that would have been very different with the cantina and the initial getting away from the stormtroopers and getting out into space.
Yeah.
And then when you think about fast forwarding a little to arrival at Alderaan, the TIE fighter turning up to shoot at them.
I bet the cat would have smelt that something was wrong with Alderaan, because he used to be able to smell things outside Starbug, didn't he?
Yeah. So the cat's sensors would have been going, although he may have been so busy wrapped up trying to get ready to meet the princess that he might not have noticed.
Yeah, maybe he wouldn't have done, actually. Yeah, he would have been combing his hair too much.
I can't help but think that the first thing that would have happened when they arrived, and there's just asteroids, all over the place.
It's brown trousers time.
Brown trousers time. Rimmer would have been shouting at Lister and blaming him for everything.
Yeah.
And cursing the fact that Lister agreed to bring, Obi-Wan and Luke on board.
Yeah, the old goit.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the bit where the cat goes down into that hold, and there's that old cat there. That old blind wise cat, and he's kind of going, oh, why would you care about an old man? He's like, I'm trying to tell you about my feet. So imagine that kind of stuff going on with Kenobi. He's trying to say wise things about the Force, and and they're just playing the pointer stick on the weather girl or something.
Yeah. I mean, it would have gone very downhill very fast from there, wouldn't it? Because they wouldn't have had the weapons to try and fight back against the TIE fighter.
No.
They would have just been trying to get away as quickly as possible.
Oh, yeah, the quad cannons are quite powerful, aren't they? And they're spinning around in those chairs. That whole scene would be gone.
Yeah. I mean, do you think when they got arrested, it's not when they got arrested, but when the tractor beam brought in the Falcon, had that been the Starbug, they still wouldn't have been able to get away from that. But do you really think that Rimmer would have agreed to hide out the way and not just served up Obi-Wan and Luke on the plate?
Oh yeah.
Because I was thinking at that point the whole franchise could have been over, because you just know that Rimmer would have sold everyone out to save his own skin.
I think the main thing about this film was it would have been shorter.
Yeah, that's what kept coming back into my head about all these different things that would have happened. It would have, don't get me wrong, it would have been a lot funnier.
Yeah.
Because as much as we love Han and Chewie, and as much as some of those scenes, particularly I love the scene in A New Hope, where after they've rescued Princess Leia, which I'm hoping isn't going to be a spoiler to anybody, but after they've rescued them and they're fighting stormtroopers, and there's one point, isn't there, where Han just goes off chasing a whole squad of troopers that are running away from him, and he's sort of suddenly running into one of the hangars, and there's a legion of troopers, and in the next second you see the scene of Han desperately running away in the direction.
Running away. I could imagine Lister doing that. Yeah. It's set bazookas to kill stuff and mount, and then chase after him, and then
You just imagine him saying, Vader, if Vader comes near me, I'll rip his nipples off.
Rip his nipples off, yeah, you can imagine that. So, talking a lot, basically.
This dialogue would have been brilliant, wouldn't it? And I've got this idea in my head that I would love to have seen happen, of Obi-Wan just turning around to Rimmer and calling him a smeghead.
Yeah, if it had that kind of dialogue, I think that would be really good. So,
I'd worry about their ability to have escaped the Death Star. I don't think that they would. I think that Lister may have wanted to try and rescue Princess Leia, but I get the feeling that him and the cat would have gone off. Like Luke and Han go off to save Leia. But by the time they've come back, Crichton's been locked in a cupboard, and Rimmer's piloted the ship, tried to pilot the ship away and crashed it, or something like that, because the tractor beam's still active.
Something like that.
Could
happen. Yeah, but think about it. We've still got Luke and Obi-Wan, and they do a lot of stuff on the Death Star, don't they?
They do.
So, like, Obi-Wan uses that force distraction on the stormtroopers, and he shuts down the shield and stuff like that. So they would be being competent. Yeah. It's just the question of, are they competent enough to make up for
the Dwarf's lack of competence?
I mean, is that bit where they say we're not even a Mickey Mouse outfit, we're not even Betty Boop? It's like that's the kind of thing that have to be kind of counteracting.
I think in a way, there you've just answered the question that I've just raised, because I think you there you are, Luke, Lister and the cat have gone off to try and rescue Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan, and this is presuming, of course, that Rimmer hasn't already sold them out at this point, the treacherous little git. Obi-Wan's gone off to try and deactivate the energy reactors for the tractor beam, so they can fly away. And just the fact that Luke, Lister, and the cat would probably have managed to rescue Leia. And Obi-Wan would probably have still been able to deactivate the tractor beam. Mm-hmm. And all that means is that Rimmer's in a position to fly away and leave everybody to die.
Yeah, he would be. I imagine Crichton would stop him from doing that.
Unless Crichton was locked in a cupboard, or he overrode him like he's done on other
times. Sometimes does. But generally, Crichton...
He's not above lying to Crichton, is he?
No, but Crichton does tend to stand up to Rimmer because he has to obey Lister, who, in that universe, he's the last human, so he has to obey what a human says. So I imagine, like, the stormtroopers might be able to boss him around, but in general, I think he would do what Mr. David said.
Yeah.
And he would, he'd stop Rimmer from turning them all in. And I imagine when they save Leia, it would be a lot like those later episodes when they've got Kachansky with them. And Crichton getting really jealous and hating her, and she keeps on taking the mayonnaise out of the fridge and making it get warm and stuff like that, and she has a ridiculous walk and all the things that Crichton hates. So
do you think she'd be calling Lister a scruffy nerf herder, or do you think she'd find something even more offensive to say about him?
I think with the Red Dwarf vocabulary, she'd be able to find a few more things to call him. Yeah. So basically, if it was Lister and Leia, that is some weird fan fiction.
Just imagine Lister turning around to Luke going, do you think a princess like her and a guy like me? No.
Yeah. No. So,
and the ending, you think about it, let's assume that the Dwarf's lack of competence was compensated for by Obi-Wan and Luke and Leia. And they actually got
the
Force, and they actually managed to get away with the Death Star plans.
Mm-hmm.
That final battle, Luke's in the trench. He's being pursued by Vader and his two wingmen.
I was thinking about this bit as well. Yeah.
Starbug doesn't have any weapons.
Wow.
I think the most likely outcome in that event, if they bother, because I can imagine Lister wanting to help, and again, that debate as to whether they'd come and help.
Yeah.
Would the outcome of that be that they turned up and in their typically bumbling fashion, they turned up and accidentally knocked Luke into the side of a trench?
I think they might accidentally shoot Luke. That would be the kind of thing they would do. But I was just thinking, does the Starbug not have any weapons? I kind of think most of the time it doesn't. But I keep remembering that episode where, because this is the one where I was mainly thinking about it. I imagine the bit where the Falcon comes in and shoots Vader's ship, and he says, like, let's blow this baby and go home. I imagined that bit, but with Starbug, but with Lister being very drunk when he did it. Because I was thinking of that episode where he plays pool with the planets. And to get the amazing shot, he has to drink enough pints of lager, like, to be just in the sweet spot of being the right amount of drunk to be a pool genius. And that he would have done that with Starbug as well. Because he must have blasted those planets with something. And I seem to remember it being kind of on Starbug that he did it. So I just imagine that kind of a scene happening again.
I always imagine Starbug without weapons. I'm probably wrong then.
Yeah, well, they've got a few different ones when they have the dwarf, don't they? I think, and then like they end up just stuck in the same one all the time. There's blue midget and stuff like that as well, isn't there?
Maybe we're both half there.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. He would try and get drunk like he did in that episode to be able to turn up and make a shot and to get some Dutch courage, as they say, to join the battle.
Yeah.
But maybe in doing so, he'd just turn up and crash into Luke's X-wing, sending
Yeah.
Luke into the edges of the turret, killing Luke, assuring the rebel base was destroyed by the Death Star, and they'd accidentally become a hero of the Empire.
Yeah, that's it.
Because you can kind of imagine that they would try and blag off that that's what they'd meant to do all along.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine them like just kind of going with it once it happened, and then their story carrying on, and then Luke and everybody is just a distant memory. So.
Yeah. But I think the one thing that we can agree on is that A, the film would have been funnier had that been the case, and B, it would, however you look at it, it's gonna end up shorter.
Yeah, definitely.
And probably with the Empire winning.
Yeah, I mean, I know the whole thing about them being heroes is that they have a lot of luck, and that they do kind of pull off these impossible feats a lot, but I just think there's too much to ask when you've got some smegheads messing it all up the whole time. So yeah, maybe the film would be... There's so many times when they could like kill them all. So.
I think one thing that we've really got to say is that as we've thought about this topic, and we've addressed this topic, and I think we've perhaps brought this to a satisfying conclusion, that really we don't give enough credit to Han and Chewie.
No, really. What is Star Wars without Han and Chewie? We're going to find out next time.
Yeah, because
we got Chewie.
Oh, the pain! The pain.
Sorry.
But when you look at it like that, had they met anybody else at Mos Eisley, the chances are that film would have been completely different, because it was only because of their scoundrel look and their smuggler talents that film went the way it did. That story went the way it did.
Next time you watch A New Hope, just imagine that in the next booth along, Lister and the cat are eating a curry. And then you'll just really appreciate Han and Chewie.
In fact, if someone wants to take that scene, CGI the dwarf into it, and send it to us, we will feature it on an upcoming episode.
Yeah.
Just to help highlight that narrative.
Yeah. It's another thing about just being appreciative of the way the universe is, really. It could have gone so badly. Yeah. So I do think that that has answered that question for people. Although, just one wild card, just one final thought.
Yeah.
What if Ace Rimmer had turned up
at
some point?
If Ace Rimmer had turned up.
I mean, that could turn the whole thing around, couldn't it, really? And the Empire would have been defeated a lot quicker, and he would be back for breakfast.
Yeah, so you better smoke him a kipper.
Basically.
That would have been different. You see, I hadn't considered that it might be Ace Rimmer and not Arnold Rimmer that turned up. If it was someone actually competent, that again might have been a different thing. But
then that's one of the main things of Red Dwarf, is that Arnold Rimmer wasn't held back a year, and that was just a small change in his life that led to him being Arnold instead of Ace. And it's such a difference. So basically that's a conclusion with a question mark. Yeah.
So think about it, because we certainly will.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what you think. We'd love to hear from you on if you've got any thoughts on how else that might have been different. I mean, it may have been different just because Obi-Wan and Luke met with them and said, you know what, there's no way we're going with these guys, and they never actually got off Mos Eisley.
Yeah, maybe.
Because maybe they were the only ones competent enough.
Yeah. Just thought, it's not that bad living under the Empire. Let's just go home.
If the Empire wants the plans that much, let them have them.
Yeah. Stuff Uncle Owen and
So, yeah, very, very different ending to the film. A lot shorter. But as I say, let us know what you think. If you have any views, if this is something that you've taken time out of your lifespan to contemplate.
I mean, the talk's getting bigger, isn't it? I mean, for such tiny meeples, we keep talking about such big topics.
I mean, this is a pretty big issue. You know, I wouldn't have been able to look my children in the eye unless I'd addressed it one day.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I feel a lot more fulfilled now in life generally that we've thought of that.
Yeah. So, let us know what you think, and we'll be back with another. I mean, it's hard to think that our next Tiny Meeples big talk is going to be this big.
I know. We're gonna have to.
Maybe it's going to be Tiny Meeples little talk next time.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll just be our torsos with smoke coming out our necks. Our thoughts were just too big.
Thank you for joining us. Stay meddlesome.
Mm-hmm.
Farewell, Quester. To find out about other productions by the Meddlesome Meeples, then check out our channel or rendezvous with us at meddlesomemeeples.com. Until next time, Quester, farewell and keep thine axe sharp.